It is Wednesday, April 10th, and the Splash Zone is back in your life. I'm Matt Modi, and I have two NBA player props for you guys to lock in for tonight's NBA betting slate. Despite the fact that we do have 8 games today, I only have 2 plays. Pretty much everybody is on a back-to-back, and these are the types of days where things don't always go the way you think they would go. So I would rather not overexpose, over-index ourselves with too many plays today. So as of right now, I'm just going to have two. If I end up sending out more later, I will post them on my Dub Club and on Twitter as well. But before we can get into today's picks, we got to do a recap from yesterday, which was another pretty good day. 4-2 on my NBA player props, up 2 units yesterday. The spiciest play of the day in terms of odds, cash, DeJounte Murray double-double at plus 140. That was delicious. We lost Jaylen Brown over his first quarter point props, which I gave out to my Dub Club and on Twitter. He shot 8 times. He only made 1. Unfortunately, that happens. But 4-2, up 2 units is a very good day overall. And that now brings us over the 100 unit mark of profit on the entire season. 100 units of profit is crazy. Over 18% ROI on the season. I honestly never thought we would have this much success on these NBA player props. My goal for the season was 50 units. 100 is patently absurd. Every play given out on my Dub Club or for free on YouTube or on Twitter, depending on what you are signed up for. But it's been amazing. Can't rest on our laurels. We got to make sure that we are continuing to hammer these sports books with 2 more plays today. Hopefully we have a 2-0 day. If you're not already, I would appreciate it if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. And then for this specific video, if you could comment, all that stuff would help me out a ton. But that's enough of that. Let's get into today's bangers. First up, Timberwolves versus Nuggets game. I'm taking Nikola Jokic over 27.5 points, minus 117 odds at Bet Rivers. I absolutely love backing Jokic in this spot. Finally, Jokic has been starting to score a lot recently. He started the year on fire where he was scoring a lot, and then he had a lull in the middle of the season. But over the past 10 games or so, he's finally getting into playoff mode, and he's been awesome. He's gone over 27.5 points in 7 of his last 10 games. That includes a 2-game sample size against the Timberwolves, in which he scored 35 and 32 points in those 2 games against the Timberwolves. Normally, I like to fade recent results. That is not what we are doing with Jokic. The reality is, Jokic is one of those players, he can score whenever he wants, on whoever he wants. It really just depends if he ends up being aggressive as a scorer. Sometimes what it means or what it takes for the Nuggets to win is him becoming a really good passer, which he's always becoming is the wrong word. For that game, him playing more of a playmaking role. Sometimes that's what the Nuggets need. Recently, especially with Jamal Murray banged up and Aaron Gordon banged up, they've needed him to score, and he's come through and he's been phenomenal. The one game he missed against the Timberwolves in which he did not score over this number was one of the first games of the year. It was the Nuggets' first loss of the year, and he still scored 25 points in that one. So it wasn't like he had a bad game by any means. And if in terms of the matchup itself, it's not just saying Jokic good, he's going to score. In terms of the matchup itself, there's one area of the court in which the Timberwolves will funnel shots to, right? They don't give up anything around the rim. That's where Rudy Gobert patrols the rim. They don't give up anything from 3-point range. But in that middle tier, from mid-range into the paint, but not restricted area, I know it's a very specific part of the court, but that's where the Timberwolves funnel shots. If you go to the rim, Rudy Gobert is going to be there. If you're trying to go up, shoot 3-pointers, they guard the 3-point line really tightly. So it's basically getting right before the rim, but still in the paint. That's kind of the sweet spot for scoring against the Timberwolves. That's why Jokic has been able to score, aside from the fact that he's incredible, scores so much against the Timberwolves, right? Like, Jokic doesn't eat at the rim. He doesn't eat on the perimeter. He eats in the paint, but not in the restricted area, that specific part of the court. Over the past 10 games, Jokic is making literally the most field goals in the entire NBA in that spot on the court. Again, in the paint, but non-restricted area. You can look at areas of the floor where players score. Jokic literally, again, leads the NBA in field goals at this spot in the court. So he's been playing really well. He's played really well against the Timberwolves. I actually think it's a better matchup than you would think because of how good the Timberwolves defense is. I do think that Jokic does have a good matchup here. And he can score on whoever he wants, whenever he wants, as long as he tries. This game is basically for the 1 seed in the West, so I think he will be trying. Even though the Nuggets, they won the title last year, they still are going to want home court. They're not going to want to have the Timberwolves have home court if they meet in the playoffs. So he should see a fully engaged Jokic. He should have a good game. I absolutely love this one. That's our first play. Next up, our second and final pick at this point in time. Mavericks versus Heat game. I'm taking Jokic's best buddy, Luka Doncic, over 9.5 assists, -113 odds at Caesars. Another play that I absolutely love. I think this is an awesome spot for for Doncic and his assists. So yeah, Luka is on the second half of a back-to-back. But you got to keep in mind, so are the Heat. And the difference between the two games that these two teams played yesterday is night and day. The Heat played a game against the Hawks that went into double overtime. Basically, the entire starting lineup on the Heat played 40-plus minutes. Meanwhile, the Mavericks played the Hornets. That game was a complete blowout to begin the game. Just a totally different energy that these two teams had to expend yesterday. And Doncic has been pretty good on the second half of back-to-backs recently. It's a small sample size, but in the year 2024, he's gone over 9.5 assists in 3 of 5 games. Again, that's on the second half of a back-to-back. But I love this matchup against the Heat. We were on DeJounte Murray assists yesterday for pretty similar logic, and that came through for us. It's because of the Heat's style of defense. The Heat play a very aggressive style of defense. They'll sell out to stop the number one option on the team. And when that guy is a lead ball handler like Luka, they're going to throw a ton of looks at him. They're going to double him. They're going to trap him. They're going to do anything they can to get the ball out of his hands. And as long as the guys on the Mavericks hit their open corner threes or hit the open shots that Luka gets to them, whether it could be even under the basket with Gafford, anything like that, the potential assists are going to be there for Luka Doncic. Last night, DeJounte had 13 assists against the Heat. Yeah, that game went into double overtime. He had 10 assists before halftime. And we were on that play for the exact same logic. It played out exactly the way I thought it would last night. And I think it's going to be the same thing tonight as well. The Heat, they will let role players catch and shoot in an effort of stopping number one extreme high usage ball handling guards like Luka Doncic. So again, as long as the guys on the Mavs hit their shots, I can easily see Luka hitting this assist number. And even if you don't even look at the matchup specifically, you just look at Luka. He's been phenomenal from an assist perspective. He leads the NBA in both potential assists and actual assists over the past 10 games. He's averaging 17.9 potential assists, and he's averaging 10.3 actual assists, again, over the last 10 games. Both of those lead the entire NBA. Last time the Heat played the Mavericks, Luka had 11 assists on 16 potential assists. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something similar tonight. Hopefully it does, and Luka comes through cashing our second play of the video. And that's all we got. 2 bangers for you guys to lock in. Again, remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And the last thing that I'll mention, I mention it at the end of every video, is that I do have a Dub Club. It's only $5 a month, and it's a service where you can have plays sent directly to your phone, whether it's text, email, Telegram. The way it works is the plays you see me give out for free on YouTube and on Twitter. Those are the same plays that I give out on Dub Club as well. The reason why I have the Dub Club is not everybody cares about the YouTube videos. They want a tail, but they don't care to watch them. Not everybody has time to watch them, so they get the plays sent directly to them immediately as soon as I decide a play, and then they can watch the video if they have time. Or sometimes the odds change. This happened with RJ Barrett. I sent out his points at 21.5. By the time people watched the YouTube video, it was priced at 23.5, and he landed at exactly 23 points. So if you're on the Dub Club, you can get plays in before the odds change. Like as soon as I decide what a play is, I send it out on Dub Club. That's why people have it. But if you'd rather pay the best price of free and get the same picks on YouTube and on Twitter, that's totally fine with me. I just like to give people the option, and that's all we got. Appreciate everybody for watching, and have a good one.